What if I told you today that you can create your own WordPress plugin without knowing anything about coding? And not only that, you can submit it to the official WordPress repository so thousands, even millions can download and install your WordPress plugin. And if people like it, you can create a pro version and start selling it on autopilot. For years, only experienced web developers were able to create plugins. Now you can do it too, thanks to AI. So in this 3-part series, you're going from absolute zero to a WordPress plugin creator. In this video, I will show you how to create your own plugin and use it on multiple websites. In the next video, I will show you how to publish it to the WordPress repository so others can download and install it. And in the third video, I will show you how to create a pro version and sell it on autopilot. So if you're ready, let's get started with this first video. Let's create our first WordPress plugin. So first, let me show you how to create a plugin using Cursor. In order to do that, I want to create on a local website. So what I will do, I will go to ferdy.com/WP Studio. There you go. WordPress.com developers. We're considering ourselves as developers these days. I click on download for Mac. You can also download it for Windows or Linux. So it's downloading. In the meantime, you can go to ferdy.com/cursor. Hit enter. And this tool will help us to create our WordPress plugin. Also over here, I downloaded it for the Mac OS X or the Mac OS. And then I click on sign in. I don't have an account yet, so I click on sign up. And then I use Google. I use this account. Continue. I set this up later. Skip for now. Don't share data. Continue. Awesome. I will do maybe later. And I'll do this later. I already done that. So I close this. Now I'm going to the WordPress tool, the local WordPress tool. Double click. And I drag it over here. Then I go to applications. And I search for Studio. There you go. I double click. Open. What I will do, I will click on skip over here. I build a new site. An empty site. Continue. My WordPress website. Awesome. Now I go to Cursor. I double click. I drag it over here. I double click on applications. I click on the C. And then over here, I double click on Cursor. Open. I log in. Yes, log in. Open Cursor again. So now I'm logged in Cursor. Great. Now I go back to Studio. I close it. Command Q. I click over here on stop. Then I search for Studio again. And now magically there is a new button over here. And now I want to open this in Cursor. So I click over here. And then you see this screen. Let's do a few things. It can be that's a bit small for you. I can make it bigger, Command plus, so you can see better for the tutorial. And if you want to do that for your same screen, Command or Control plus. So it says no repo. Well, even although over here it says my WordPress website, it can be in some cases that it doesn't link it. If you want to link it, click on no repo, go to on this Mac, open folder, and then you go to your folder with all your stuff, and then you go to Studio. And you select my WordPress website, open it. So now I've selected this. Awesome. Then, since we're going to create a plugin for WordPress, we need to make sure that we keep the guidelines from WordPress. So if you want to make sure that Cursor thinks about that, go to your browser, then go to cursor.directory and search over here for WordPress. Go for the one with WordPress rules and best practices for Cursor. So here's the first one. I click on add to Cursor, open Cursor. I can add it to my WordPress website, but if I'm going to make more websites, I would add it to home, so it will be applied everywhere. Then there's the second one. Open, add it to home, and then there's the third one. Why? Because when you create a plugin, you can submit it to the WordPress repository. And then if it's not in line with the guidelines, then will be rejected. So with these settings, you'll be helped. If you want to see them, click over here on the settings icon, go to rules, and over here, we have all those rules now, always applied. So I go back. So it's time to create our plugin. So what I will say, let's start simple, build a WordPress dashboard widget that shows a quote from Jim Rohn every time you refresh the page or the dashboard. Here are the quotes you can use. So I go to ChatGPT. Give me the 20 best quotes from Jim Rohn. Nice, there are 20. So I copy them. I go to cursor. I paste them. I can give it a name. The name of the plugin is Jim Rohn quotes. I click over here, and now it's going to create our WordPress plugin. So it's running it, so to see if it's working. And if I want to see if the plugin is already created, I go, oh wow. Wow, that went fast. So there it is, the plugin Jim Rohn quotes. It's over here in WP content plugins Jim Rohn quotes. Nice. I can open my dashboard, so I go back to Studio. Make sure your website is active. So we can click on Start over here. So it starts running, starts operating. And now over here I can go to WP Admin. I dismiss this. I scroll down. Jim Rohn quotes. There it is. So if I go to Screen Options, I get rid of everything except for Jim Rohn quotes. I could call it Jim Rohn quotes. Either you run the day or the day runs you. Jim Rohn. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every single day. So I'm going through my website. I want to remove this. Okay, I go back to my dashboard. Success is attracted by the person you become. I needed that. Bam! You can do the same with scripture, with Bible verses, with quotes from Tony Robbins, from Ferdy Korpershoek. You want a quote from me? Make your best decision today. Because if today the time is not what you think it is, the time runs in a way that you're not compromising in the... Yeah, you can make a tattoo of that. So we've created our first plugin. What can we do now? Let me show you. I go to Studio, then I want to go to the Finder. Then I go to WP Content, to Plugins, Jim Rohn quotes. Right mouse click, I can say compress, Jim Rohn quotes. I go to the desktop. I bring it to the desktop. Now I go to my website, my live website, ferdy.com. I log in. Then I go to plugins. I want to add a new plugin. I want to upload a plugin. I choose a file. I go to the homepage. Jim Rohn quotes. Install now. Activate the plugin. Now I go to my dashboard. Jim Rohn quote. Either you run the day or the day runs you. You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So it's how do you say that? It's randomizing the quote. So it's not always in the same order. That's what I like. So there you go. I can drag it wherever I want. So we haven't spent any dollar on any tool, and now we have our own plugin. But of course we can take it to the next level. Let's see what's possible with the free version. So I'm gonna try one more, and then in the next video I will show you how you can submit this to the WordPress repository. And then in the video after that I will show you how you can create a pro version so you can really start a business. I talk with a lot of people in the WordPress community, and a lot of times I'm an affiliate, but people say, and I don't agree, but you're at the wrong side of the table, the wrong side of the idea. You're an affiliate, but the real money is where the products are. So a lot of people want to create a software as a service, not just because of the money, but also because then you can, it's so scalable and you can sell it. I have my face, I can sell my YouTube channel, but then yeah, my face is kind of connected to this. So with software, you can sell it. Well, a lot of great things you can think about when you think about having your own software as a service. Let's create something else. So here at Cursor, I love it. I love it. Now I want to create a second plugin. And this is a plugin I think I really like. Let's see what it can do, if it can do that. I have not tested it. I want to have a plugin on the dashboard that counts how much time I spent on the front end and at the back end of the website. So I can be honest to my clients on how many time I spent on their website. Websites, clients. Not too much information. Of course, I could go to ChatGPT, like make this a more in-depth prompt, but let's see what it can do with this. A dashboard time tracking plugin that measures active front end and back end time. And of course, I can make it more detailed. And then I can say, if you want to know how much time you're spending in the editor and somewhere else with SEO, then get the pro version. Oh man, I like it. I like it. Thanks to Cursor. And we're just using the free version. And the same you can do if you would say in the pro version that if you hire people that are writers for you, that you can track their time and you can not mention that. And then you can see if it matches with what they're saying, what they're doing. So very interesting this. So again, dashboard and find the site work time widget. So I go back to Studio, to my Finder, and here at Content, Plugins, I see site time tracker. So I go to the website, to the backend and front end. So let's say I spend some time over here. I remove this. And over here, I added my profile. I changed my first name over here, or I filled it in. Ferdy, Korpershoek. I say I want to be seen as Ferdy on this website. Okay, I update my profile. Change the colors. No, I leave it with default. Okay, I save it. Then I go to the dashboard. 1 minute in the back end, 30 seconds in the front end. So let's set a timer, or yeah, why not? I start the stopwatch. I go to the front end of the website. Nothing, not a lot to see. I will stick with you for 2 minutes, and then I will be back with you and show you what it's tracking on the back end. I like it. I'm excited. So in the meantime, I'm getting really excited. Where do plugins get born? Not in Africa, not in Asia. Even actually they are. They happen in your mind. Over here it happens. So I've been making a ton of websites and I do a lot of onboarding, of course. Is that the right word? When I create a new website, I always do the same things. I remove all the plugins. I remove all the pages, all the posts. I change my name to Ferdy. I make sure that how do you say that? The permalinks are right. So I can create a plugin, onboarding plugin, fill in your name, click submit, and then your name will be there and all the files will be gone. And if I create 1,000 websites, it will save me 1,000 times a minute or 2 minutes. So that's how ideas get born. Where do you get stuck in creating websites, and then come with a solution and then make a plugin out of that and share it with the world. So I'm already on the front page for 2.5 minutes. I go to the back end. Yeah, so it's working. Front end, total of 3 minutes. I love this. And you can make it more in depth. So those are 2 very simple ideas, 1 prompt and 2 plugins. So I mean, 2 times a prompt, 2 plugins. I love this. Yeah, think outside of the box. Play around with this. We're using the free version. So I really like this. And I want to thank you for watching this first video. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to submit one of your plugins towards the WordPress repository. Because then, if people go to plugins and they search for a time management tool, yours can pop up over here. One more thing, if I go to plugins, those are over here. By Jim Rohn quotes, you could rename this by Ferdy Korpershoek. So you can do that in Cursor. Why not? Let me show you. Studio, Cursor. Awesome. give both plugins the name Ferdy.com as author. So if I go to the most popular plugins, flex tag, Jamie, cool. I wonder if I can use .com. I don't think so. Let's go to popular, Elementor, Yoast, WordPress.org. Maybe it's possible, but that's something I can ask ChatGPT. And then if the plugin works and it becomes popular and you have a pro version and you make money with it, then there can be a company that says, I want to buy your plugin, and then you can make a lot of money. It's all about helping people. So let's see what Cursor is saying. There are now both Ferdy.com as author. So I go to plugins, and now this is by Ferdy.com. I love it. I hope you do too. If you can appreciate it, please like the video. Feel free to subscribe for more upcoming tutorials. I think WordPress is going nowhere. Your WordPress is learning how to make use of all the great things that are possible with AI. And I think the combination of AI and WordPress is still one of the best combinations you can have. So thanks again for watching. God bless you, and see you in the next video. Let's submit a plugin towards WordPress. Wrap up story. Ciao.